Wait, so let's go over the homework real quick. Page 13, 14 out of our booklets. Take that out. Make sure it's handy. It's assignment 2B and 2C. Okay. Let me just bring that up again so it'll actually work. Here we go. Okay. So here's part B where we did our conversions. So just remember, these ones had two parts. So for example, we had to convert 7 yards into feet. Then we'd add the 2 feet that we have already. And so we get a grand total of how many feet we had. Okay, knowing that you got to add, some parts you have to convert, then add them together. Part D, we had 3 parts to convert, correct? Okay, the parts we had to convert, first of all, 5 miles, we converted that into inches. Then we converted 16 yards into inches. Then we converted 2 feet into inches. And then we'd add them all up, and you get a very large number. Okay, a very large number for that one. So that's just review of what we did yesterday. Then parts, this one here. Okay, we didn't go over these questions, but for this question here, what are we looking at? You're looking at taking the 26 miles, turning it into yards, then adding it to the yards that are there to get the total number of yards. And then the number of yards equals the number of strides. They're exactly the same. Right? Strides is what we call a referent. Okay, a stride is a referent of a yard, and a stride is a referent of a meter. But which one's slightly longer? Yep. Second one? Meter? You're right. The meter is slightly longer than yard. Good job, Jason. One of my best students here. Okay, number 6. So now you're talking about a fence. So this is the backyard. The backyard is 60 feet wide. It's 120 feet long. So 125, 60 feet wide, 125 feet. So you're putting a fence all the way around this yard. So you got to add up all the feet. Okay? But the problem is the fence board that you're putting up is only 6 inches wide. So as you're building this fence, you need to figure out how many groups of 6 inches are in the total number of feet. So we're going to convert our total feet into total inches. Okay, so you got to convert feet into inches for the dimension of the backyard, or playground in this case, sorry. Then you're going to divide it by 6 inches. So once you do your conversion, you simply then divide by 6 inches, and that'll tell you how many boards are needed. Okay, so get the total number of inches. Essentially, that's what you're doing. Total number of inches divided by 6, and that'll tell you how many boards you need. Any questions with that one? Okay, so that one's a little bit weird because you're talking about the distance around, but you're talking about the fence boards. And the fence boards, of course, stand straight up and down. So I understand why that one's a bit complicated. Next one with the rope. This one kind of was a little bit weird, caused you confusion. You guys got this part, right? 50 minus 34 inches. And it was like, I don't know, some number that's left over. However, from this number that you found when you subtracted, you have to take away 8 more inches. So really what you have to do is kind of split this number up and take out another foot. So once from a foot, that's an extra 12 inches. And so then you would take away 8 inches from 12. So when you're done, you're going to have something like 15 feet and maybe 2 inches, 3 inches, 8 inches, something like that. Okay, so a little bit more complicated there. The trick is realizing that wherever this number is, if it's like 16, for example, just hypothetically, if it was 16, then you'd have 15 feet plus the other 1 foot, and the 1 foot was really the 12 inches that you're taking away from 8. Okay, so it's 12 minus 8. So you got to kind of break this one down into, like 15 feet and 1 feet from 16. Okay. A little bit weird with that one, a bit more complicated than just the regular normal subtraction with decimals. This last one here, I had you copy this down, Okay, so what we got to do is figure out the diameter. And in order to do this calculation, because it's in feet and inches, we got to convert the feet into inches. So 7 feet is how many inches? And then we add the number of inches to 4. So we're looking for a grand total of our diameter, how many inches? Okay, that's what we're looking for. Okay, we're looking for what is the diameter in inches. Then we can do our math. Okay, so then we can do our math. Now it's every foot, so you would simply take your circumference and divide it by 12. Once you found your circumference, okay, so C equals pi times d, which you found over here, and then you take your total circumference and see how many groups of 12 are in that number. And that'll tell you how many geraniums to plant. Okay. Now the tricky part here, I believe if your number's 1 off, it's because you actually have to plant a geranium at 0. Right? You got to plant a geranium at 0. So keep that in mind too. That's a little bit weird with questions like that. Okay. So that was kind of like a bonus question with the geraniums. This one's kind of like a bonus question too. So you have 5 cages, 3 of certain height and width, and then 3 cages, and then 2 cages. So what I'm looking for this one, when you add them up, you're going to get 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, so you're going to get 10 feet. Then you get 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, you're going to get like 40 inches. Okay, so you're doing them separate. How many feet and how many inches total? You'll do that over here, probably like 12 feet and 18 inches. And this one you'll get like 2 feet and 16 inches. And so what you're going to do then is you're going to add up all your feet. You might get like, I don't know, 45 feet and 80 inches, something like that. So from the 45 feet, 80 inches, you would take your 80 inches and put it into feet and then see if it's larger or smaller than 30. Now clearly 30 is smaller than 45, but you might be close, right? If this was like 25 feet, 80 inches, this converting the inches into feet would really matter because you don't know if 25 feet and 80 inches is exactly 30 feet long or not. So you have to convert your inches into feet. Okay. Any questions? This one here is straightforward as long as you convert these into your decimal form. So 3/4 of a mile. How would I get that? How would I get 0.75? Well, 3 divided by 4. Okay. So 3 divided by 4, go to the old calculator. 3 divided by 4 converts my fraction to a decimal, 0.75. So 2 3/4 is a whole number is 2, and you have 0.75, so you put them together to give you 2.75. Okay. 1/4, how would you do that division? 1 divided by 4, just like up above, 0.25. So then 6 1/4 is 6 as your whole number and 0.25. Okay. Any questions about this one? For this conversions, once you get your numbers as decimals, you go back up here and look at the chart. And as Mr. Barker said yesterday, oh, here's the chart. I just simply have to look at what I'm converting and then do my conversions. You're right. Look at this chart always. It tells you how to do it. So have that handy. Okay. Any questions? So Mr. Barker knows that we went over this together. When I'm marking your booklets, you're going to get absolutely skewered if you got nothing written down, like 20%, right? If I take the time to go over it, I'm expecting it to be written down. If you're not here, what should you be doing? Watching the videos, right? You're always here in class, always. If not, that's your choice. And it's your choice not to watch videos, so it's your choice to get 20%. All the videos are up here on the Google Classroom. The blocks are mirrored, so they're copied. There's the lesson from yesterday. So whoever wasn't here should have gone and watched this. Come on up here, you. Let's go. Right? And there's the lesson. So you didn't miss class at all. You chose not to
Get out of your
work.
rocks. Nettie.
Okay? So back here, the video.
Yes, it's a UFO landed there, guys.
Front. And now if you totally understand what Mr. Barker's talking about, right? Like I get this. Oh yeah, review. Okay. Yeah, I get that. Okay, yeah, I get that.
Then,
Yeah, okay, I get that.
at feet to yards.
Pause it, write it down, and then skip forward. Pause it, write it down, skip forward. Right? Use it as fast forward. If you understand it perfectly, fast forward to the next section. You don't have to go play by play. Okay? Use the videos. Any questions? Going once, going twice, sold. You sure? Okay. Today we're going to convert between systems. Okay. So between systems, we're going to be going back and forth between metric and imperial. Okay. So we're going to go from one to the other. And we're going to do that quite easily, and you're going to find it pretty simple to do. Okay. I'm going to show you kind of the math on how to set it up, because some people might want to go in regular, some people might be taking chemistry, so you need to know how to do conversions. Okay. So we'll talk about that and how to set that up. We'll also, though, show you, for workplace math, when you're actually in the workplace, you're going to use electronics, and we're going to show you how to do that, so you got the skills to use that properly. The problem is, you got to know if you're on the right units. Right? If you're supposed to be in volts, but you're measuring ohms, you got a problem, right? If you're going to be telling me feet, but you're actually converting to inches, you got a problem. And you got to know that and recognize it. Otherwise, you're going to build something really funky looking. You're going to order something that's incorrect and be wasting a lot of money. Okay. So what we have here is we have our conversion factors. Okay. To convert from one to another, you would multiply by the correct conversion factor. So for example, this conversion factor of inches to centimeters can be two different fractions. You can convert that into 1 inch over 2.45 centimeters. Okay. So you can use that as your conversion factor. But you might not need that one, so you won't make that one. You might take this conversion factor and have it flipped. So the conversion factor you need is 2.554 centimeters over 1 inch. See what I did there? What's the difference between the two? Yeah. Ralphie says I flipped them. Absolutely. What changed? Observation skills. What changed? Not just the flipping, but like what about the flipping changed? Observation skills. What are we looking at here? This word. Units changed. That's what you need to notice. Okay. For the first conversion factor, inches are on top. Why are inches on top? Because if I wanted this conversion factor, it's because I wanted to find inches as my final answer. Okay. If I wanted to use the bottom conversion factor, it's because I wanted centimeters as my final answer. So the unit you're trying to find must go on top of your conversion factor. And that's super important. If anyone's taking Chemistry 11, the entire course is about this. Knowing how to use your conversion factor and using the correct fraction. Whatever you want to find must go on top. Okay, a whole bunch of the first year chemistry at university is all about that, conversion factors. Okay, any questions about that? So let's do an example. We're going to convert 24 feet. 24 feet into meters. So the conversion factor from feet into meters is this. 1 foot equals 0.305 meters. Now, did I say equals? That's wrong, isn't it? What do you guys notice about all these signs? Yeah, they're not equal signs. You guys know what that sign means? The little wavy sign? Any ideas, Landon? Yeah, it's an estimate. Yeah, so usually we'd say it's an approximation. So we would say 1 foot is approximately 0.305 meters, approximately. And there's actually different conversion factors you can use. Okay, this is not the only one. And there's more accurate ones as well. Right? So just to let you know, that's why they're using that approximate sign. But really, just treat it like it's an equal sign. For us, that's fine. Okay, we'll treat it like it's an equal sign. So since I want to find meters, what unit must go on top? Meters or feet? Meters. So my conversion factor then has 0.305 on top of the fraction and 1 foot on the bottom of the fraction. Okay. So what I'm going to do then, I set it up as 24 feet. Okay, write that down. 24 feet, write this down. 24 feet times, and you just told me I have to use meters on top. So 24 feet times 0.305 meters divided by 1 foot. So it's a fraction line. All fraction lines mean division. 0.305 meters divided by 1 foot. Write this down. Write this down. Write this down. There we go. Write it down. I love how every time I say write it down, more people start writing. Okay, so that's the math. That's super important. Now we're going to show you the shortcut later, but I want you to understand what's happening. So then we go to our calculator, and we simply go, it's as easy as it looks. We simply go 24 feet times 0.305 divided by 1, 7.32. And that's our answer, okay? 7.32 meters. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Any questions? Now, what's neat is that you actually have feet divided by feet. Feet divided by feet. And that helps you understand, if you understand that, that's why these units cancel out. Because you have feet divided by feet. They cancel out, and what's left over? Good old meters. That's why you always want the unit you're trying to find on top, because the other ones are canceled. Aha. Okay. So you got to self-talk. Use your self-talk. Ask yourself this question. What do I want to find? What do I want to find? That's going to help you set up your fraction for your conversion. Okay. Any questions? I have a question for you. Do you really need to do that divide by 1? You don't. I like it though, because in chemistry, it's not a 1. It's different numbers. Okay, even in some physics, they're different numbers. Okay, in math, the conversion factors are usually set to 1. Okay, so we don't need to, but you should understand what's happening. Higher level thinking, right? Okay, good. And then again, if you didn't write it down, that's essentially what we're doing in a calculator, the 24 times, okay, the 24 times 0.305, and then divide by 1, which you said you don't really need to do, but you should understand it, okay? Questions, comments, concerns? Funny jokes? Anyone? Yeah, they're probably not clean, I understand. Let's keep them to yourself then. Okay, next example. So this is a good one. We have this is classic, right? Some dude is 5'8". What's the height in centimeters? Doctors always want to know heights in centimeters. So you have to convert, but you don't just have to convert once, you got to convert twice. You got to convert 5 feet into inches, okay? So you're going to go 5 feet times 12, because there's 12 inches, equals 60. But you have the 8 inches already, so we go 60 plus 8 equals a total of 68 inches. So that's important. The first thing you have to do was figure out how many inches is 5 foot 8 inches. Okay. Then, now that you have 68 inches, you convert that to centimeters, because that's essentially what we want to find. Right? Like, we want to know how many centimeters is 68 inches. So, since we want to find inches, when we have, you could all convert into feet, but it gets a little bit weird because you have decimals, and that's not really right. So which one goes on top here? Inches or centimeters? What are you trying to find? Centimeters. So when you set up your fraction, 2.54 centimeters must go on top. So down here, we have 2.54 centimeters on top, 1 inch on the bottom. That way, the inches cancel out, and we're left with centimeters. What's the math on the calculatrice? En français? 88 times 2.54, divide by 1 if you will, 172.72. Okay, now Mr. Barker, when you're in chemistry, you got to know inches are canceling out because it's inches divided by inches. So we can go, And chemistry, they actually want you to do that. If you've done any unit conversions yet, they want you to do that. Chem 11, cancel them out, and that shows your answers in centimeters. Okay? Ms. Kamenescu loves that, and Mr. Penner and all those other science teachers. Okay? They just pay me like $10 a year for me to say that as I teach. 172.72 centimeters final answer. Any questions? Comments? Concerns? Interesting facts you want to point out? Good Halloween stories? I got a good Halloween story. I'm going to pause the video though. And back to learning. Another conversion factor. We want to convert, we already did the 68 inches. That's all done. Some people, I already did this. Okay. Oh, so what I did for this one here is I did it separate. So I took the 8 inches and only 8 inches. I converted my 8 inches into centimeters. Then I took the 5 feet and I used the other conversion factor using feet and converted that into centimeters. So you could do them separate, right? You could do your 8 inches and 5 feet, do them separately, and at the very end, you combine your answers to get a grand total of centimeters. And the cool part is, here you get 0.82, here you get 0.72. And for Candy, can you tell me why? Why do you get two different answers? One method is 0.82, one's 0.72. Who can tell me why? I did just talk about it. Tick tock, tick tock. Who can tell me why you would get two different mathematical answers? Any guesses? Interesting. Anything specific? I'll tell you. We just talked about it. What does this symbol mean? Avery? Estimate. Okay. So when we did the math the first time, we just did one estimation. But then when we did the second time, we did this other one as well. So we did 1 foot equals that estimation, and we did that estimation. So because we did two estimations, it's not going to be 100%. Okay, that's why. All right. Both will be correct answers, though. I do on my project. I do notice that for that one question. So, what are you going to do today? You're going to use Google. Make sure you write this down. Okay. So for you, you would do this. When you're doing this on your computer, you're going to use Google. Okay, write this down. I'll show you how. I'm going to go back and forth. Actually, I will make this smaller if I can. There we go. Here's small. Nope, that's not what I want. Yeah, you know what? This will pop. Oh, shoot, that won't work. Yeah, okay. Shoot. Okay, there. That's not perfect, but I think it'll be good enough. So I type into Google, and I actually do type into Google. Here, you know what? I'll go down, and this one go up. There we go. All right. So if I'm going this into Google, you need to type in convert 5 feet to centimeters. Sorry guys, amateur hour. There we go. Convert, and that's the most important word. Convert 5 feet. Notice you got to have your spacing. 2 centimeters. It even pops up for me. Holy crap! You only have to enter in all the keys. Wow, this is made for Workplace 10. Press enter, and there's your answer. Okay, 152.4. Okay. So then you can write that number down. Correct? Yes, correct. You can write that number down. So then you go back here, get out of here, close. I don't want that. No. Oh, I think I did my computer in. I think it's done. Oh, there we go. So then you do the next one, convert. What word do you start with? Convert. 8 inches to centimeters. Press enter. 20.32. Okay. So then you can write that down and you can add them up. Now, say you had another one like convert 24 feet to meters. Okay, 24 feet to meters. You simply type in convert. What word do you start with? Convert. 24 feet to meters. Press enter. And that equals 7.3152. Typically, I'd give 2 decimals for your answer, and you should be fine. Okay, you don't have to go more in depth than 2 decimals. Yeah, 7.32. Yeah, good job, Sam. Okay. Any questions? So I want you. Write this on top of your assignment. Assignment number 3. Write that down. Use Google. I know it's really hard. Use Google, and then you want to type in. I'll even do quotation marks to make it official. Convert blank to blank. Okay? And it's important that you're accurate. Okay? GIGO. Do you guys know what GIGO stands for? It's a computer term from the early 70s. It stands for garbage in, garbage out. If you type in garbage, it'll give you garbage. So in order to know if you got the correct answer, you have to type it in correct. Or in order to get the correct answer, rather. Okay? So assignment number 3, you're doing conversions. People that, you're superstars, you can show your work. People that are, just want to get this done, then you can use Google. After that, after a little bit of practice, you have some word problems. Basically, you're converting one measure into another. So you're going to convert feet into meters. Question number 3, you're going to convert meters into feet, and then add them together. Okay. Here, you got to be careful. You got to convert both of those into meters. So what I would do, well, you tell me what you would do. You decide what you want to do. All right. Or the other way is to convert your meters into feet. Both of those would work, but then you have to compare, okay, to see if the boat and the trailer will fit into the garage. Classic question. It sucks when you buy a house that doesn't fit your boat and trailer. So measure first, buy once. Number 5, kilometers into miles. Number 6, meters into yards. 7, meters into inches. Here, convert all of them into centimeters and then see if they add up to more than 157. All right. I also want you to do assignment number 4. So estimation of different sizes. Now, to help you out with your estimation skills, there's some classic ones. Okay, so let's write these down, please. Centimeters, the size of a centimeter is the width of an adult finger. So today we're going to pretend that you're an adult. Okay, so today pretend you're an adult, use your finger for estimation skills. Meters, use 1 stride, that's the easiest. You can also do nose to your fingertip, and this also works for a yard. Okay, so it depends on what you're measuring, how high it is. You can do strides or nose to your fingertip. Write this down, take a little note to remind yourself in case you didn't know. Tell yourself that you need to know this so that you can use this. Okay. And then for a foot, it's a foot. That'll help you out. Okay. Last one I like to use is an inch. For an inch, it's usually, I'm having trouble talking here today, your thumb fingernail to the first knuckle. Okay. So if this is your thumb, there's your first knuckle. Oh boy, geez, that's bad drawing. Here's your first knuckle. Okay, obviously it's enlarged, but from there to the knuckle, that's 1 inch. Okay. About. Obviously longer fingers, a little bit more, shorter fingers, a little bit less. Okay. So then you can do assignment number 4. A lot of assignment 4 is figuring out how long these items are. What would be the best unit? I'll give you a hint. Don't measure a bus using kilometers. That ain't a good thing to use, okay? Just like you wouldn't measure the width of your pencil in miles. Your answer will be looking pretty funny. Any questions? Nick, you gotta go? Go. Thanks for waiting to appreciate that, okay? Wait, assignment 3, assignment 4, pitter patter, get at her. iPads will be at the back. You have to give me a minute before I get there.